Good afternoon, everyone. This is Steve Fenlon, Director of Customer Success here at Easy Projects. And I just want to thank everyone for taking the time out of their day to attend this webinar. We're really excited to show you some stuff that we've been working on. I am joined by David Connolly, Implementation Consultant and General Good Guy. And so we're going to get started in just a moment. I'm going to let a few more people filter in and we'll get started. We've got quite a bit to show you today, so we'll be quick as we go through everything and make sure that we get all the stuff demonstrated, and I'm sure that you're going to really enjoy this. So just give us a moment and we'll let a few more people filter in. Okay, so let's get started. We want to be respectful of everyone's time, so we want to get started and get finished on time. So today's topic is going to be business intelligence dashboards, and we're going to explain what those are and how they differ from the reports that we have in our BI suite. So here we go. Here's our agenda. So what's a business intelligence dashboard and what's it good for? To quote a song, we've developed a ton of new canned reports that anybody who has the BI module enabled will have access to, should they want them. So we're going to demo some of those. We're going to explain in depth the difference between reports and dashboards in the context of Power BI and show you how each is useful in its own right. We'll do so most of this webinar is actually going to be pretty hands-on. It's going to be mostly demo, very little PowerPoint. It's going to be mostly a demo. So we're going to do a dashboard demo and show you how to build them and sprinkle in our thoughts on their use cases and how they're useful. Then we'll let you know how you can get the dashboards enabled in your EP account and start using them. And then we're actually going to run through a couple more of the reports near the end, because we think that they're significantly different from the other stuff that we've shown you before, and we just want to make sure that you are aware that they exist. And then we're also going to let you know that we have a new help center coming. And so what we've done is we've consolidated all of our resources into one much more modern looking and easy to use help center. And so we're looking to launch that on the order of days. So we'll certainly let you know once that's launched. We'll probably even have a webinar just to go through it and show you how you can use it. It should be much more accessible and easy to use. So we're really excited that that's been put together and that we're going to launch. And then finally, we're going to give you a heads up as to when the next webinar is going to be. So the next one by popular demand is going to be on notifications and how they help you stay connected and how to set them up so that they are exactly right. So you're getting the appropriate amount of notifications at the right time. So that's the next one. All right. Let's go. Well, that's a little too fast. So like I said, there's not a ton of PowerPoint. So let's dive right in. Okay, so to start, I'm actually going to quickly run you through the host of new reports that we've created in Power BI. And so the idea for these new reports, or the foundation of these new reports, is we wanted to create a number of reports that would then generate a KPI. So we want to be able to give you measurable evidence that of how your project management process is working, and make it empirical so that it's not anecdotal and it's not just a gut feeling, and make it easy for you to track that over time and measure how Easy Projects is helping you tame the beast of your projects. And so with that in mind, we've developed over 20 KPIs so far, with more to come, on most of the common use cases that you would see or that you would need. And so as I mentioned before, for anybody who has the business intelligence dashboard turned on, you'll have access to these. So you'll just let us know that you want them, and we'll publish them to your account. And if you have any questions about business intelligence generally, feel free to, because we've covered this a few times, so feel free to reach out to us at success@easyprojects.net, or we've got some really good recordings and tutorials on our YouTube channel that you can go and kind of get a foundation in the BI stuff. Because today we're mostly going to be focused on the dashboards, and so we're not going to go into the possibilities of the reports and how the reports are built, but more focused on these are the reports and how do they relate to the dashboards. So that said, that's a little background. So you can see down here that I've got a ton of new reports that we've created. And so what I'm not going to do is walk you through all of them, because that's not the point of today's session. So if you did want to see all of them, or you didn't want them published to your account, just put your hand up. Just let us know. And so I'm going to call out a couple of things here. So the reports that we've built typically handle one use case or one KPI. So I'll use the word KPI. So in this case, we're looking at our active projects, and we want to understand how we're doing compared to schedule. So are they on time? And I'm just going to throw the caveat out there right to start that most of this stuff is coming off a demo account. And if you've ever done any sort of webinar presentations, maintaining demo accounts is the 7th or 8th level of hell. And so our demo account is, I think it's okay, but the numbers are certainly not going to reflect a healthy project management office. So caveat delivered. So in this case, we're looking here and we can see that 13% of our projects are on schedule. That's problematic. And as we've done in the past, we're using our kind of our red, orange, green stop lighting system to make it immediately obvious that something's wrong. You can see here that there are 230 projects behind schedule, problematic again. And then one new wrinkle into these new reports that we've created is that we've now got on our tables and our matrix visuals, we've now got the ability to conditionally format data. So you can see here, so this report basically tells me when did the project start, when's it supposed to end, what's its status, what's the progress, so everything to do with schedule, and then the SPI, so the Schedule Performance Index, which takes into account the start date, end date, and the progress, and gives you an indication of how this project is doing in terms of its schedule. So you can see we've got a whole bunch of green projects, so that is good, pleasing to the eye, and then as you scroll down, I've got it sorted by SPI, so you can see that, oh no, I'm into my orange projects now, so these are the ones that are trending towards lateness. So you want to maybe pay attention to those. And then down at the bottom, you've got your red projects, which are trending towards lateness or are already late. So super useful report. And you can see that we've got a ton of them. So the other reports will be similar in nature, where it'll call out a single KPI and it'll give you a visibility into a single KPI. Now, the whole point of having KPIs, in my view, is so that you can get an end-to-end view or an end-to-end understanding and look at a single key performance indicator and combine those with the other ones and get an understanding from a high level as to how your PMO or your project management process is operating. And so in the current structure, in the structure that we've had in the past for our business intelligence, we've had a bunch of single reports. And so you can certainly have all of these reports in your easy projects, but getting an understanding of how these things relate and getting an end-to-end view has been not possible, or it's been difficult. And so we've looked to remedy that by implementing a dashboard concept, which will bring together all of these things and give you that high-level view, make the connections and kind of figure out the insights that you need to improve your business. So that's today's point. That's what we're here for. So, we're going to take a look at one more report, just again to give you another little flavor of. Okay, I'll make that a little bigger. Okay, so here's another example of conditional formatting. So these are the activities that are completed, and what in the past, what percentage of them were completed on schedule. And the reason that I bring this up is that we've got this beautiful little trend line here for her historical KPI. So this tells us as of right now, all of our historical completed tasks, we've completed 60% of them on time, and then you can see how we've done over time. What does that trend look like? Are we trending up? Are we trending down? What's going on? And then again, we've got our filter here to show us the ones that are bad, that are late. And so very cool. It gives you a good sense of what's going on in the past. It gives you a historical understanding of what's going on. Aside from that, if I wanted to know something about the budget for these tasks, or I want to understand how we're doing, so I want to combine my active tasks that or active projects that we were just looking at, and see that in context with my historical completed tasks. Again, it's piecemeal. It's difficult to put that information together. So it's a great report. It's great for digging down into specific information. So if I wanted to filter by, say, a project manager or a portfolio, and say, okay, how's my IT portfolio doing? This is where it happens, right? But that insight and that overarching view doesn't happen here. So we've put in these dashboards to make them happen. All right, cool. So let's go take a look at those dashboards. Okay, first things first, I am going to flip over to full screen so it looks prettier. Dave, give me a thumbs up if that looks good. Okay, cool. All right, guys. So as I mentioned before, this is a dashboard. And so you can see what we've done is we've taken those indicators from each of the reports, and I've created a sample dashboard here. This contains a lot of information about active projects, closed projects, and some other info that I'm going to walk you through. But the concept here is that at a glance, I can see high level how I'm doing overall. So you can see that I think the trend that I'm seeing based on this dashboard is my active tasks and my active projects. So my active projects on schedule is 13%. The tasks in those projects are 11%. Milestones, even worse. And then from a budget perspective or a labor perspective, my estimated versus actual hours, I'm only at 39% of that is under budget. So that's problematic. And then additionally, we've got a similar number here for your tasks. Now, and you can also call it the actual, so rather than a percentage, you can get another kind of view in terms of absolute numbers. So you can see that these are the absolute numbers here. So the active stuff that's going on is certainly worse than our historical trends. So you can see here that our activities completed on schedule historically is 60%. And yet, as of right now, the stuff that we have open is 11%. And so that's the kind of insight that you can get very quickly from just looking at a dashboard like this. And then I've also pinned here the historical trends, so you can see those. And then there are also a couple more reports that I've pulled some information off of here where we've created a user scorecard. So basically, we've identified a number of KPIs or criteria that we can measure users' performance on, put together a custom little algorithm that says, give me a score out of 100. And then, and David's going to actually walk you through this report. And then for all of the users in my Easy Projects account, our average score is 47 out of 100. So you can certainly go into that report and start to dig into it. And I'm going to actually show you what that means. So let's go back into our active projects on schedule. And to go to that actual report and start digging around, you just click on it. And that'll move you over to the actual report. And then you can start to say, okay, I just want to see the stuff that is action required. So red, just show me the red stuff. And then from there, I want to dig into my project managers, or I want to start to figure out, who's behind schedule, or I want to look at a project portfolio. So at a high level on that dashboard, you were able to call out that you've got a problem here, and then you dig into the data down here. Okay. So honestly, guys, that's the most of the benefit, and there are additional benefits that I'll walk you through, but it's that that ability to combine data that previously in the reports you weren't able to combine, and then to dig into it. So let's take a look at Okay. All right, cool. So when it comes to the actual building of these dashboards, it couldn't be simpler. So let's go back into this report. All right, cool. So after you've built your cool little report and you like it, and you want to take some of that data and you want to make it available on a dashboard, you just click this little pin button here, and then you choose the dashboard that you want to pin it on. If you want to create a new dashboard on the fly, you can also do that. So building these dashboards, guys, could not be easier. It's super, super intuitive and it's super easy to do. So I just wanted to cover how that was done. In terms of some of the characteristics of the dashboards themselves, and so as I mentioned before, you get your end-to-end view of all of the information that you want. David's actually going to walk you through in a bit some of the financial information that we can now kind of aggregate and gain insight from. And if you wanted to take some of that financial data and pin it to the same dashboard that I've got here, you certainly can. So I'll just show you what that would look like. So we've got a project financials dashboard that we've built. And if we wanted to take one of these KPIs and pin it to the other dashboard, we certainly could. And so now you've got, some information about your active projects. You got some information about your completed projects, information about your work in progress, any of the financial indicators that you want, all in one spot. So you get that end-to-end view of your business, which is really cool. Additionally, I just wanted to call out that the benefits of the reports that are behind these dashboards are all still valid. So you're looking at real-time data. There's no, sharing of a spreadsheet, passing a spreadsheet around, that as soon as it gets passed around, or as soon as it gets emailed, or as soon as it gets posted on the SharePoint site, the data's out of time. Basically, it's old data, right? This is all real-time data. So as your team or as your company is doing its work, it's all reflected here and it's updated immediately, which is awesome. The other thing that I like is that it's easy to understand what's going on. So I look at this and I understand that red is bad, 11% is bad. Looking at tabular data can be taxing on the eyes. It's hard to understand. So if you're looking at an Excel spreadsheet, it can be hard to understand exactly what's happening. And it's hard to pull that trend out of it. And it's hard to pull that information or insight out of it. So what we've tried to do here is make it dead easy, colorful, and highly understandable to basically figure out what's going on. And so, your C-levels, your bosses are going to love that, because they're going to be able to open up this dashboard, take a look at what's going on, dig into stuff, and it's not going to take them any time, and they can do it whenever they want. They don't need to wait till Monday morning after a Friday when we've spent 4 hours putting all this information together. It's all available real time. So very cool. Okay. Okay, so one of the other huge benefits to this approach is that finally, so previously in our reports, and if you were in your Easy Projects account, when you went to the business intelligence section, in our reports, you can only have one data source. So you can only have information coming from Easy Projects, which, we're okay with, but maybe you're not. Maybe you've got a financial system externally, or you've got some other tools that are not appropriate for Easy Projects. They're not, Easy Projects' strength in terms of handling that data. And so previously, you would have had to pump that data, the appropriate data out of Easy Projects, pump the appropriate data out of the other tool, and then combine them somehow. So integration. So the great news is that with these dashboards now, what you can do is you can actually create reports based on that other data. So if you're talking about Excel, CSV, Web, Microsoft Access, SharePoint, other BI tools like MicroStrategy, Tableau, all of that stuff, you can create reports based on those data sources in the Power BI environment. You can publish those reports, much like you would publish any of the reports that are behind these. And then you can exactly like we did before. So let's pretend that this is actually a MicroStrategy report. I come in, I look at these visuals, and I say, okay, I want to combine this data with my Easy Projects data. All you do is you pin it to the dashboard, and then on that dashboard, you're going to see data from different sources. So powerful. So, you know, if you've got an Excel spreadsheet that has something to do with HR or something that there isn't a good fit directly in Easy Projects for, now you can combine that data in one place. And again, as long as the tool behind it, so, you know, like Tableau or any of the other, maybe you've got a CRM or an ERP that you'd like to pull data out and compare against your project data. And if it's a real-time connection to that, now you're going to see all of that stuff in real time. That is going to blow your boss's mind, because they're now going to be able to see this stuff in real time all in one spot. So pretty cool. And to that point, guys, I mean, we've really tried to identify the use cases, most of the use cases where a KPI is natural. And so in this case here, we're looking at billing utilization. So what does that mean? Basically, it means that for all of the hours that I've logged in Easy Projects, what percentage of them are marked as billed. And so you can see in this case, we're killing it. So we're, you know, let's pretend that we are a technical services firm and we bill by the hour, and it's really important that the time entries in our time is billable. That's a great indicator for that type of business, right? And then again, you click into it and high level view, you understand, and then you go back to the dashboard, and you can see all of the other indicators as well. So very cool. And so I guess, I mean, from my perspective, that's those are the dashboards. And you can see that they're super easy to put together. You can combine different data sources. You can use all of the canned reports that we've provided. And then I'll also talk a bit later about how you know, you can create your own and customize this to your liking. And so if you're a fan of pie charts as opposed to you know, these guys, or you want a stacked bar chart, or you want a line graph, Power BI has all of those indicators, and it's super customizable, so you can basically build exactly what you're looking for. So if you are currently using an Excel spreadsheet and you've built all those visuals in your spreadsheet and you're used to them, or your boss is used to them, you can replicate all of that here. All right, so I am now out of breath, and I'm going to bring Mr. David Connolly into the conversation. Hey, Dave.
Hey, Steve. How you doing?
I think you're muted.
How about now?
Yeah, that's better.
Excellent. All right, so Steve's going to give me presenter access. I'm just going to go over a couple of other reports we've recently built that we feel will be extremely beneficial for our user base. So first of all, let's say I'm a project manager, or I'm a financial person overseeing projects. If I need to get visual, a look into see how these projects are doing, I need to just click on the project name in Easy Projects, click into the financial module. I can obviously read over the data in the financial module, close out of this project. I have two projects now on the same portfolio, so I also want to compare the previous project to this project. Again, same workflow, click into the financial module, review the data, and then, well, I forget what the last project said. But we have a resolution for you. In our PTS KPIs, we now have a financial module in Power BI that can show you not only more than one project's financial standing, your whole Easy Projects accounts financial standing. Okay, so I showed you how I had to switch between two projects to get an overview as to how they're doing. I can now, from my project drop down here, choose multiple projects if I need to, like so. So I can compare two projects. Even better than that, I can see a project's financial standing based on project manager, customer name, and or portfolio. So again, instead of having to switch between two projects within Easy Projects, everything that is in a project's financial module is also in here, with the added advantage that it combines more than one project. So again, I can compare 2 projects in one portfolio in one visual screen for me. Now, the layout that we have here is a suggested layout. It's like Steve has mentioned, it's very, very easy to make changes to these reports. If you see something in this report, like maybe a filter that you don't think you'll use, maybe customers or portfolios, it's very, very easy for us to tailor this and remove it for you. Any one of these graphs at the very top can also be pinned to a dashboard. So like Steve again has shown you with the dashboards, I could see percentage build from my dashboard, click into it to get more details about it. The second updated report we have is one of my favorites. It's a user scorecard. So again, at the moment in Easy Projects, I can see how well a project is doing, and I can see how often people are logging time in Easy Projects and how often they're going over. But again, it takes quite a bit of clicking and scrolling for me to get the information I need. With the user scorecard, I can now get an overview of not only my whole organization, but individual users as well. So for example, I can see, because all users are selected, I can see that at the moment, they're not doing very well with active tasks on schedule, but they're doing wonderful at billing utilization. And my overall company user score is just under 49. If I drill down to an individual user, let's select myself. You see, I'm doing pretty well. I'm above the company average, and based on a combination of all the graphs that you see here. So you can see at the moment my active task on schedule isn't great, but my milestones are doing fantastic, and my milestones completed, and my general overall task completion on schedule is doing very well. Whereas if we drill down, sorry, yes.
Sorry, I just wanted to make a quick point. So as a manager, I love this concept because it can be used as a performance management tool. So I can use this to keep track of my team, and you could certainly add like a team filter there, or drill down to the user. You can also use it and expose it to the actual users and say, okay, you know, this is how you're doing. You can incentivize people based on certain criteria, or based on, and you could even gamify it. So I love this report. I think it's awesome because it's flexible in its usage. Oh, you're pulling me up now. That's not very nice.
Yeah, we have a trouble employee here that we need to deal with.
So yeah, I just wanted to make the point that it can be used as a management tool where the users aren't, you know, basically the scores are not shown to everyone. So your score is personal between, you know, yourself and your manager, or it can be exposed, and you know, you can stoke the competitive fires. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
Awesome, thanks, Steve. So yeah, really, really nice report to have, really, really useful, and very, very easy to see who's performing well, who's doing not. Like Steve mentioned, gamify performance, say like anyone above a certain score will be rewarded somehow, and definitely makes adoption and use of Easy Projects go a lot smoother. And so, like Steve mentioned, we have created quite a lot of different reports that are available for your dashboards. So just to help you out and get your head around it, we have actually prepared some documentation around it. So we're happy to share this with anyone who's interested, and just breaks down basically, first of all, what are the key benefits of actually using this type of dashboard or using KPIs, and the results we hope you'll get from it. And then for the individual reports, we've actually broken them up into what area of your business or what area of Easy Projects they will impact. So user scorecard and guest user engagement, for example, will help with adoption, whereas items under projects and activities, these are items or reports that we feel will benefit your managing your projects and their activities. And then as you scroll down, each one of these KPIs is broken up into their own section with, first of all, we'll tell you a description about the KPI, what your users need to input to Easy Projects in order for that KPI to output information, the type of visual that we recommend using, and then what filters come with that KPI. So again, we can share this with anyone who's interested in learning more about our dashboards. You can have a scan through the document, and any ones that jump out at you, you think they're ones that will be useful for you, you can certainly let us know and we can have a conversation about how to create a dashboard with this information. Okay, so like Steve mentioned, our next session is going to be on email notifications in Easy Projects, or just notifications in Easy Projects, because we don't only have email notifications. That's due to take place on Tuesday, 22nd of February. Other than that, any questions, anything you want to bring up about what you've just seen in this webinar, success@easyprojects.net goes to myself, Steve, and Patrick. As you know, I'm sure having dealt with us, you know we're always here to answer any questions you have at any time.
Yeah, Dave, I just wanted to quickly cover before we sign off and let people get back to their busy lives. So just a quick overview on the because the PBI or the Power BI topic is a slightly complicated one in terms of access and who and how you get it. So basically, the dashboards are available to anybody who has the business intelligence function turned on in their Easy Projects account. And if you have any interest in any of this, please do reach out. If you already have BI turned on, awesome. And then getting these dashboards is basically free. So we can turn that on and we can help you build the dashboards. I also wanted to mention that, so because we're so stoked about this, because we're so excited, because we want to get it in the hands of as many of our customers as possible, we've decided to make basically the first 20 customers that kind of come forward and put their hand up, we're going to basically create the dashboards for free. So there's no hourly wage, there's no time. So if you've got some reports that you're using, or if you're using the canned reports, and you want to start to combine those and publish a dashboard into your Easy Projects account, for the first 20 accounts that come forward, we'll do that for free, because we're convinced that this is a game changer. We want to make sure that people start to benefit from this as soon as possible. And so we're giving you a bit of a shove by making it free. So if you have any interest, put your hand up. Send us an email at success@easyprojects.net. And we will certainly reach out. Or if you're like very many of our customers and you're in regular contact with us and you know who we are, just reach out and let us know, and we'd be happy to get started. And so if you have any questions about getting it, I'm not going to try and cover all of the I'm not going to try and cover all of the various configurations in a one-to-many session. So just do reach out, and we'd be happy to have a chat about it, because we're pretty excited. We're going to continue to build out the canned reports to make them as many or as universal a fit for the customer base as possible. And so if you have the BI module, we'll keep promoting this stuff, keep letting you know that there's new stuff to be had, and we'll keep pushing it up into accounts so that you can benefit from it. So I hope that everyone found this this useful. It's certainly, I think, from my perspective, a game changer in terms of what you can do in Easy Projects. I think EP has always been excellent at the planning and execution stage of project management, and I think now with this capability, the reporting and kind of the BI piece is really starting to come into its own. So we're really excited that we've been able to add this. Dave, did we mention the any details about the new Help Center? I think we did, yeah?
You did, yes.
Okay, cool. So yeah, Help Center's coming. It's going to be awesome. People are going to love it. It's going to be a lot easier to use. When it's ready, we'll certainly let you guys know. And aside from that, we've got a ton of new stuff coming in the next quarter. Our dev team is heads down, nose to the grindstone, with all sorts of stuff that's going to be coming out. So as you guys know, we like to keep it fresh. We like to keep improving the product. It's what I think makes us a great platform. So thank you very much for your time today, and thanks for David's wonderful assistance today, and keep your eyes out for the invitation to the next webinar and or any other webinars that we put on. So thanks again. Take care.